What's up, guys? Today we have to talk about James Charles. The other day I was just scrolling on Twitter and came across a huge announcement that quite honestly left me shook. It's a mess, so let's get into it.
Exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you.
So, before all this David Dobrik stuff happened, we as a community were heavily focused on James Charles. A few fans came forward saying James was sliding into their DMs, if you know what I mean. And these were fans that James had absolutely no right talking to, mainly because of some of their issues. It was a mess. James issued a horrible notepad statement on Twitter and just expected everyone to move on. Well, I feel like that kind of happened. This David Dobrik situation really took people's focus off of James Charles and the severity of what he did. James has been posting as normal, going on trips with Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio, doing collab videos with people like Manny MUA and Gabriel Zamora. He's been sent makeup by huge brands. He's still promoting his Amorphe palette, and he even launched a new podcast. That doesn't really sound like someone who is just in major trouble for being in fans' DMs, does it? I think after seeing what happened to David Dobrik, people are now starting to look back at James and realize how differently certain creators are treated. David lost all of his sponsorships, his monetization on his channel has been suspended, and he's also taking a break from the internet. James, on the other hand, is a completely different story, but that might be changing. Yesterday, an article was posted by Variety which says James Charles will not return for YouTube's Instant Influencer Season 2. Now, before we go on, I want to be clear, YouTube never gave a reason exactly why James won't be returning, but a lot of people think it might be from everything that came out last month. It's very possible they might not want to deal with the backlash from giving him a show, or it just could be because they're taking the show in a different direction. It's still really weird though, because James has always called Instant Influencer his show.
For today's video, we have a very special announcement that I literally have been waiting 3 years to make. I'm going to be filming, executive producing, and also hosting my very own beauty competition show. First started getting into makeup and social media, one of my biggest goals that I set for myself was to have my very own competition show one day. 3 years ago, when I first moved to LA, I remember spending one morning sitting in my downtown apartment and creating a full notes app document on my phone, planning out a full concept for a makeup competition show. I came up with the name, the description, literally every single challenge that I wanted these contestants to go through, but I had a really long talk with my team about what I wanted to do to keep myself inspired, and I brought up the idea of doing the reality show. And months later, after a lot of different brainstorming sessions, a lot of different meetings with a lot of different people, with a lot of different companies, it's becoming a reality, and the impossible is about to become possible.
James was the host of the show last year, and they were searching for the next beauty influencer, and it seemed like it was really successful. They got millions of views per episode, and fans really wanted a second season. In fact, back in June, James actually confirmed a second season would be happening, writing, "So, YouTube made the announcement this morning, but I thought I'd make it official too. Instant Influencer got picked up for Season 2. If y'all thought Season 1 was good, just wait." YouTube even wrote back to James and said, "Season 2, here we come." So I think we can at least say at one point, James was told there was going to be a second season and he would be hosting it again. And then something changed. The article reads, a YouTube rep confirmed that Charles won't be returning to the show, but declined to provide a reason. Previously, the video platform had announced that he would be hosting a second season. They said, "We can confirm Season 2 of YouTube's original series Instant Influencer will take a new creative direction, including a new host. We thank James for a great first season and look forward to building on the show's success by expanding the opportunity to showcase a diversity of creators across the YouTube platform in our upcoming season." A second season of Instant Influencer is still a go at YouTube. That will feature a new host and creators from a different category, not beauty or makeup. The YouTube rep said a new host and additional details for Season 2 will be announced in coming weeks. So this is like really big news. I was under the impression that Instant Influencer was James' show that he created and YouTube picked up and funded. I could see if the show didn't get a lot of views and didn't have a good reaction, maybe YouTube would decide to part ways with James and move on to a different category of influencers, but the show was highly successful. It's the fact that James and YouTube confirmed a second season was happening and suddenly he's dropped makes me think it's pretty serious. The article kind of speculates that it might be because of everything that came out about James, but like I said, YouTube never made a comment on that. There's another theory going around that maybe James decided to drop out of the show on his own to start a podcast. The other day, people found an Instagram account that James was following called Good and Fresh, and in the caption it said, Good and Fresh podcast coming soon. There's only one post on the account, and it's a picture of James and a few of his really good friends, so I'm guessing it's going to be a podcast with all of them. As of right now, James hasn't addressed why he won't be hosting Instant Influencer, even though all of his fans have been asking him and wanting to know why. But James did address one thing. A merch designer posted screenshots which allegedly showed James messaging him, trying to hire him to do merch designs for Sisters apparel. The merch designer tweeted, "Okay, so not that, James Charles sliding into my DMs trying to make a bag off of me. Don't worry guys, I called him out. Literally caught in 4K. He attached a few screenshots where James says, My team and I are trying to reach out to you. We're wondering if you'd be interested in working on some new Sisters apparel. I absolutely love your merchandise, what you do, and what you stand for. I love this. Looking forward to a response from you soon." The merch designer then accepted his message request and said, "Yeah bro, I got you." And he attached a picture of an orange jumpsuit with Sisters all along the back. And then he said, "I don't work with..." This tweet ended up going viral, and now James Charles is claiming it's fake. I keep getting tagged in a tweet from a small brand claiming I messaged them asking to design my merch. This interaction is completely fake. I've never spoken to them and they've blocked me, so I can't respond. Then one of James Charles' fans replied to him and said, "I feel sorry for you, to be honest." And James said, "It's annoying, but it's even more concerning that drama channels and news outlets report on these types of things as if they're fact. Personally, I didn't see any drama channels making videos about this stating it as fact, so I don't really know where that's coming from, but I can actually think of one thing going on here that's more concerning." The same person replied to James again and said, "Drama channels are honestly so problematic." And then someone replied to them and said, "James is honestly so problematic." At this point, I'm just wondering if or when James is going to announce why he was dropped from Instant Influencer, because everyone under his tweets are asking him why. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.